Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I want to show you how I use an electric guitar to make a synth pad sound. This is a really cool trick. It's a very organic sounding way to make a synth pad without actually using a real synthesizer. It's not very complicated. For this lesson I'm going to be using my own song, Perfect. This is my last single. You can click the link in the description to check it out, to listen to the full track. This is a little series that I'm making. I'm showing you how I made this track and I'm breaking down the different elements that make up the whole song. So this is part 2. If you want to watch part 1, you can click the link in the description and let's get right into it. So here is my session and you're going to be paying attention to track 10, my pad, guitar pad. And I'm going to show you what the intro sounds like and then we're going to break it down. Okay, really cool. This is what the pad sounds like by itself. This is a very signature sound of ambient music. So how am I achieving this sound? I have a bunch of effects right here. So the first one is my amp simulation. I'm using Bias FX2. And as soon as it loads, I'm going to show you the amps that I'm using. Come on. There we go. No joke, that took like a minute to load. Yeah, so I have a very basic clean sound. Actually, let me show you what it sounds like just with the amplifier. Okay, so it's very important that you play it like that. So I'm gonna show you how I'm recording this. Hang on. Okay, so when you're recording your song, instead of just playing your chords normally, what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll off your volume, you're gonna play your chord, and then you bring up the volume, you bring it down, you play the next chord, and then you bring the volume back up, and you bring it down, and so on and so forth. What you're doing is you are basically taking off the attack of the note and you are making the end of the note smoother. I'm going to show you what that sounds like once again. I'm rolling the volume down, playing the chord, and then I roll it up. I'm going to bring it back down, play the chord. That is practically 50% of the sound, but we're not done yet. In this case, I'm using this saturation plugin that is really not necessary for the overall effect. I just wanted a more analog sounding sound to the guitar itself. This is not really relevant to the overall effect, but this is what it sounds like. Just gives it a little bit more of gain. I'm actually going to leave it turned off so we don't have as much noise in the signal. Then this is the big thing. You need a big reverb. I'm using Valhalla Shimmer, which is a huge reverb. These are my settings. And as you can see, the mix is all the way up. It's 100% wet. This means that you get only reverb and you don't get any dry signal. So when you use a reverb, you usually have your dry signal on top, and then you mix your wet signal, the reverb sound, quieter than your normal sound. In this case, you turn the mix all the way up. You don't need any normal signal, you just get the reverb. I don't have much feedback. You can let's add a little feedback. Let's see what that sounds like. And I'm using the big stereo. I'm not using a lot of size because the big stereo is already so huge, believe me. And the color, the pitch, that really depends on what you're going for. But the basic thing is having the mix at 100%, no dry signal, just pure reverb, and having a big sound. And this is what it sounds like with the reverb. Okay, as you can see, it turns this very small mono signal into this huge stereo field. It's pretty insane what it does with the sound. So I would say the magic is in the reverb that you use. As long as you can get this big stereo sound, it's gonna sound really good. And then the two EQs that I'm using are just for this particular mix. The tone that I had on my guitar had a lot of low mids, and it was just too much for this particular mix. And I also rolled off a little bit of high end because I was going for a little bit of lo-fi sound, I guess. So I'm just gonna show you what that sounds really quick. It's a very subtle difference. Those are just a couple different frequencies that I didn't need in the guitar pad for this specific mix. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with this trick. You don't really need to do that same technique that I was using with the volume while I was playing guitar. I mean, obviously you can also use a volume pedal if you have one. I think that would be a little easier to control. Like, for example, at the beginning of Pliny's Koki, you can hear this very cool sounding pad that's actually a guitar, and he's playing the main tapping riff but using this huge reverb technique, and it gets rid of all of the attack of the tapping, and you just get this huge swells of harmony pretty much. So try to come up with something that you can play and maybe repeat that's in a certain chord, and when you apply this, it's just gonna turn into this big massive harmony that you can use to support the body of your mix. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And if you want to listen to the full track, it's gonna be in the description. I would really appreciate if you guys check out this song. And that's it. Bye.